Hey everybody, it's Chad over here at Sniper Dynamics StalkLand Series Camouflage. Just do a little video for you on how to mount our tripod cover system. So your tripod cover is going to come with 3 different pieces of material. It's going to come with your shock cord, the cover itself, and then just a cord lock. The only thing that you may need to provide, or that you're going to have to provide, is just a little piece of loop, sticky back Velcro. That way so it makes a nice good anchor point. I'll explain that here in just a second. So you're just going to take your tripod cover, once you got that sticky piece of Velcro down, then you're just going to take the hook side of that Velcro and you're just going to apply it just like so. That way so it gives it a nice good firm bite, keeps the tripod cover from slipping down, and it makes it a lot more easier during the mounting process. So what I do is I take my shock cord and I'll run it through these first 2 eyelets up here on both sides. Kind of a pro tip too is just to go through, because these eyelets are sewn great, they'll hold up, but you may want to kind of loosen up the eyelet holes that way so it makes the lacing process a little bit easier. But I just come in here, I push my shock cord through those first 2 holes on the back side there. As you can see, I kind of try to make sure it's kind of even, just like a pair of shoelaces, if you would. And then all you're going to do is just flip this bad boy around, and then you're just going to keep that. You're just going to do a lacing process much like you would your shoes. So just one side to the other. I usually like to work one side of it first because it makes it go quicker instead of having to switch back and forth. But also with that, you may lace up the wrong hole right out of the gate, and then now you're having to undo the entire thing and lace it back through. So just FYI. So you're just going to come through, just again, alternating those holes like you would on a pair of shoelaces, which all of us have used at one point in time in our life. It's going to come all the way down and just lace it all the way up. You might want to double check your work every once in a while, just to make sure that you are hitting the right eyelets. Yep. All right. All right, once I get all the way down to the bottom here, I just kind of take a little Pawsex and I'll kind of pull this shock cord pretty tight. You don't want it too tight because you don't want it to start pulling down on the cover itself, but you just kind of go through, tighten up those laces a little bit, and then once you get all the way down to the bottom, you kind of pull it nice and tight. I like to take the remaining shock cord and I just run it through on the opposite sides of these guys. So I'll run it through one more time, lace it, and like I said, there's 2 more eyelets down here at the bottom, so you just lace them on through just like so. Boom and boom. Once you get those locked in, once they're pushed through, I just like to take the extra, kind of really cinch it down as much as I possibly can, and then I'm going to go back around and I'm going to run this extra shock cord around a couple times, just like so. And then all you're going to do is on the back end here, you're going to take your shock cord, your extra shock cord, you're going to take your cord lock and just slide it through on that cord lock system. And once you got that inside there, once you got it inside that cord lock, then all you're going to do is just cinch it down. And what that does, that allows a nice good anchor point there down at the bottom, as well as having that nice anchor point up top. So the beautiful thing is that we made this cover long enough to where you can run it over a knuckle, depending on how extended your tripod legs are and what configuration you want to run it into. But you can also stop short and it'll kind of scrunch up the material, which actually adds a little bit more texture to the pattern itself. So you have multiple options. You can run it over the knuckle like I have here, or you can run it up above the knuckle and stop right there. That way so you can easily manipulate that attachment point, whether it be like telescoping type tripod like you see here, or the ones with the little levers. So, but that's all there is to it on mounting these tripod covers. I hope you guys have a good day and stay safe out there.